I made a deal with the best bro I'd been gaming with all summer. During freshman orientation, he'd bring me an ice-cold watermelon. What I got instead was Maya Anderson, the most untouchable girl at Northwood University, standing there in the middle of a crowd. I'd met this upperclassman on the Northwood Confessions page over the summer. His profile picture was a cartoon Kratos from God of War angrily slicing a pineapple. His username was Kratos Loves Figs. It was peak internet nonsense. My profile picture was the Hulk smashing a watermelon. My username was Hulk Melon Smasher. We clicked instantly and spent the entire summer grinding ranked matches in League of Legends, Wild Rift. When orientation week started, I asked him to bring me a watermelon. Instead, the person who showed up was Maya Anderson. The Maya Anderson. In front of hundreds of sweaty freshmen, she blushed and asked me, "Are you Hulk?" I stared at her, then thought about my buddy's absurd profile picture. My brain short-circuited. How did my online-only, never-seen-his-face, best bro turn into the campus queen? 0-1 victory. The sound of the enemy's nexus shattering was crisp and clear in my dorm room. I tossed my phone onto my bed and stretched, my joints popping like bubble wrap. I'd finally hit master tier. I felt like I deserved a medal. I grabbed my phone and opened my chat with the Kratos slicing a pineapple icon. His ID was Kratos Loves Figs. Looking at that name and that avatar, you could only picture one thing: a classic sweaty gamer dude. I typed furiously, "Your king is here. Come pay your respects. I carried your butt to master tier all summer. How's that for skill?" He instantly replied with a sweating nervously emoji. A 2-second voice note followed, but I didn't play it. What kind of guys listen to voice notes in this day and age? It felt way too extra. The only voice notes I listen to are from my dad, and that's because I have to. Kratos Loves Figs. All right, Leo, you're the GOAT. What do you want as a reward? Boba this weekend. I grinned at the screen. This guy was solid. When he offered, you knew it was for real. I glanced out the window at the dark night, thinking about the grueling orientation field day tomorrow. An idea sparked. Okay, here's the deal. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock, when the sun is at its absolute worst, come to the main quad, find the computer science department section. Bring me half an ice-cold watermelon, the pre-cut kind, and don't forget a spoon. I picture the scene, the sun beating down, everyone else suffering through drills. And there I'd be, eating watermelon under the envious glares of every other guy in my class. It would be my moment of triumph. Kratos Loves Figs replied instantly. That's it? No problem. For my best bro, I wouldn't just bring you a watermelon. I'd bring you a whole pineapple. Deal. I'll be waiting. If you bail on me, I'll find you and twist your head off. I sent a gif of a drill sergeant screaming, then shut off my phone. My roommate, Alex, poked his head down from the top bunk, a sleazy grin on his face. "Leo, you texting your online girlfriend again?" I grabbed my pillow and chucked it at him. "Get lost. She's not my girlfriend. He's my bro. He's my ride or die. You wouldn't understand the sacred bond between two men." Alex caught the pillow, still smirking. "Yeah, right. Who texts their bro all summer long? You talk to him more than you talk to me. And those profile pics? One's Kratos, one's the Hulk. It's giving major, two bros chilling in a hot tub energy." I roll my eyes. You know nothing about art. It's abstract expressionism. It's a new semester. I'm about to expand my social circle. You think I want to stare at your ugly mug all day? Alex scoffed and ducked back into his bunk to scroll through TikTok. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking back to 2 months ago. The day I got my acceptance letter, I was bored out of my mind and started scrolling through the Northwood Confessions page on Facebook. Amidst a sea of posts like "to the girl in the white dress in the library" and "anyone subletting an apartment," one comment stood out. ID, Kratos Loves Figs. Avatar, a chibi-style Kratos with a massive beard, holding a spiky pineapple with a comical expression. Comment, instead of trying to find love on this page, you could be finding me in the top lane. I'll carry you. DMs are open. No noobs. I looked at my own profile. Avatar, a chibi-style Hulk, face contorted in a rage, holding up a slice of watermelon. ID, Hulk Melon Smasher. We were a match made in meme heaven. I laughed out loud. This guy had my exact sense of humor. Another connoisseur of the abstract. I sent him a friend request, and once he accepted, I checked out his Instagram. Bingo. Nothing but screenshots of his game stats and ridiculous memes. Not a single selfie. Just a gallery of absurd reaction gifs. Our first conversations were simple. You on? Down for a match? Gige, holy crap dude urkracht. If this was a girl, I'd eat my phone screen. So, I'd always assumed Kratos Loves Fig was another gaming-addicted college guy, just like me. Most likely a total dude bro. After all, what kind of girl uses Kratos slicing a pineapple as her avatar and calls me bro all the time? Thinking about my ice-cold watermelon tomorrow, I couldn't help but smile. Maybe this whole college thing was going to be pretty awesome after all. 022 in the afternoon. The sun was merciless. The turf on the quad was practically steaming, the air thick with the smell of sweat and hot rubber. Stand up straight. Stop fidgeting. I'm talking to you. Everyone tired? Fine, take a 10-minute break. The orientation leader's voice was like a cheese grater on my brain. Finally, a break. I felt like I was being slow-cooked. My throat was bone-dry. I kept glancing towards the edge of the field. Where was my Kratos, my watermelon-delivering savior? If he didn't show up soon, that watermelon was going to be baked. I quickly pulled out my phone, typing blindly from my pocket. Dude, where are you? I'm about to ascend to a higher plane of existence. I need that watermelon to live. I shoved the phone back into my pocket, trying to look like I was paying attention. Just then, a commotion started at the edge of the crowd. Everyone in our section suddenly perked up. Whoa, dude, look over there. My roommate Alex elbowed me in the ribs. Leo, do you see who that is? It's Maya Anderson. I followed his gaze. Walking towards the entrance of the quad was a girl in a white sundress, her long hair flowing behind her. Her skin looked impossibly pale against the harsh sun. She was carrying a plastic bag and walked with an easy grace. As she passed, the guys who had been practicing drills looked like their eyes were about to pop out of their heads. Even our drill sergeant orientation leader couldn't help but stare for a second too long. She was stunning. So stunning she looked like she belonged on a different planet from the rest of us mortals. I found myself staring too, but I snapped out of it. A pretty girl was nice to look at, but she couldn't quench my thirst. Where was my watermelon? I whipped out my phone again, spamming his inbox. Bro, hurry up. What's taking so long? There's a crazy hot girl over by our section. You can't miss it. Just look for the crowd of guys drooling. Just as I sent the message, my phone buzzed. Kratos Loves Figs replied instantly. I'm here by the computer science section. Where are you? I froze. I'm a 6'2" guy standing right here. How did he not see me? Was he blind? I looked around, scanning for anyone who looked like a best bro, but saw no one. But Maya Anderson, the campus queen herself, was standing right in front of our group, looking around as if she was searching for someone. I saw a few guys already trying to fix their hair. Alex, that clown, actually sucked in his stomach. I looked down and typed back. I'm in the third row of our section. I'm the tallest one here. Hurry up, man. This girl looks like she's looking for someone, and every guy on this field is staring at her. You won't be able to get through if you wait any longer. After sending the message, I decided to give my visually impaired friend a hand. I even gave a little wave. The exact moment my hand went up, that girl, the campus queen, stopped searching. Her eyes locked directly onto mine. She glanced at the phone in her hand, then back at me. After a brief moment of hesitation, she started walking straight towards me. Alex gasped. Dude, I think she's coming for you. I was frozen solid. No way. Did I forget to wash my face last night and accidentally unleash my devastating handsomeness? Or maybe my best bro was friends with Maya Anderson and asked her to deliver the goods for him. That would be a serious power move. While my brain was running 1,000 miles a minute, Maya Anderson was already standing in front of me. A light scent of jasmine washed over me, cutting through the overwhelming stench of sweaty dudes. 300s of pairs of eyes were now fixed on us. If looks could kill, I'd be a pile of dust. Maya stood less than 3 feet away. She was even prettier up close. Her eyelashes were long, her skin so flawless you couldn't see a single pore. But her cheeks were bright red. Her eyes darted around nervously, and she seemed even more stressed out than I was. The fingers gripping the bag with the watermelon were white-knuckled. She took a deep breath and spoke in a small voice, laced with uncertainty. Are you Hulk smashing a watermelon? My brain completely shut down. Hulk? Watermelon? That's my profile. How does she know? I stared at her blankly, then glanced down at my phone screen, at the absurd Kratos avatar in my chat window. A ridiculous, impossible thought exploded in my head. I swallowed hard, the words tumbling out of my mouth before I could stop them. Are you Kratos slicing a pineapple? Maya froze. The expression on her beautiful face was a complicated mix of shock and horror. We stared at each other, wide-eyed. A second of silence. Then, we both blurted out at the same time. I pointed at her. You're not a guy? She pointed at me. You're not a girl? The words weren't loud, but in the relative quiet of our formation, everyone heard. Oh my God! Alex was the first to lose it, shouting out loud. In an instant, the entire computer science section, no, all the surrounding sections erupted. Ha ha! I'm dead. Hulk? Kratos? What kind of cursed crossover is this? This is a catastrophic online dating fail. Dude, that guy's a legend. He broed out with the campus queen. It's the classic, I thought you were my bro, but you were a hot girl all along scenario. There was heckling, whistling, and roaring laughter. Even our stone-faced orientation leader had to turn away, his shoulders shaking as he tried to stifle his own laughter. Maya's face turned a shade of crimson I had never seen before. She had clearly not anticipated this level of public humiliation. She probably thought she was meeting another quirky girl, not some random lanky dude. She looked like she was about to panic. She shoved the bag she was holding into my arms with surprising force. The watermelon was ice cold, and the impact against my chest sent a chill through my whole body. Here's your watermelon. She threw the words at me, not daring to look me in the eye, then turned and ran. Her retreat was frantic, almost a full-on sprint, leaving me alone, holding half an ice-cold watermelon, standing in the center of the quad under the blazing sun. Utterly, completely bewildered, I was surrounded by a sea of gawking faces. Some looked envious, some jealous, but most were just enjoying the free entertainment. Alex, that traitor, was laughing so hard he was practically crying as he slapped my shoulder. Leo, you're my hero. You got the campus queen to bring you a watermelon. You're the first person in Northwood history to pull that off. I looked down at the watermelon in my arms. It was still cold, condensation beating on the plastic wrap. 2 plastic spoons were stuck in the top. My head was still ringing with Maya's shocked question. You're not a girl? It was official. I wasn't just a funny guy anymore. I was now the campus creep who catfished the most popular girl in school. Is it too late to drop out? 04, I have no idea how I made it back to my dorm. My legs felt like jelly, and my face was on fire. The moment I pushed the door open, I heard Alex yelling. For real. I'm not lying. I saw it with my own eyes. That was Leo's online girlfriend. It was Maya Anderson. I swear, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. When they saw me walk in, the room went silent for a beat. Then it erupted into thunderous applause. My other 2 roommates were looking at me with pure admiration. Leo, my man, we bow to your greatness. You are officially the pride of room 302. Dude, teach us your ways. How do you trick the campus queen into bringing you watermelon? I waved a tired hand and collapsed into my chair. Please stop. I want to die. I pulled out my phone. Sure enough, the Northwood Confessions page had exploded. The top posts were all about the scene on the quad this afternoon. Someone had even posted photos. In the picture, I was standing there like an idiot, clutching a watermelon, while Maya ran away, her face bright red. The caption read, I object to this union. This guy looks like a total doofus. The comment section was a flood of laughing emojis. I know this guy. His profile pic is hilarious. He's actually kind of cute in a goofy way. Maya is so adorable. I can't believe her avatar is Kratos, LOL. I ship it. Hulk and Kratos. It's a match made in Valhalla. I couldn't even bring myself to read anymore. My social life was over. Just then, my phone vibrated. I flinched, almost dropping it. I opened my messaging app. It was a new message from Kratos Loves Figs. What would she say? Would she call me a creep? Block and delete me? Or ask me why I pretended to be a girl? I tapped on the notification. Although there was a single, solitary emoji. A yellow face, sweating, looking at me with an expression of pure speechlessness. I sent a sweating emoji back. I wanted to explain, but I didn't even know where to start. The truth sounded so unbelievable, even to me. The typing indicator appeared. Each bounce of the 3 dots felt like a hammer blow to my heart. Just as I was about to type out, I'm so sorry, my screen lit up. Maya had sent a long voice note. I hesitated for a moment, then lifted the phone to my ear. There was no anger, no cold disdain. Instead, a bright, cheerful laugh filled my ear. Ha ha! I can't, I'm dying. This is hilarious. Leo, right? You're something else. You had me completely fooled. Turns out this was all a huge misunderstanding. I seriously thought you were another weirdo girl like me. But you're a freshman. A kind of goofy-looking freshman at that. Hearing her laugh, the massive weight on my chest vanished. I even felt a little warmth spread through me. She wasn't mad. And her personality was exactly the same as it was online. Totally down to earth, not stuck up at all. I quickly typed back. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were a girl either. I honestly thought you were some dude, bro. Before I could even finish, another message popped up. It's fine, it's fine. It's not a big deal. So from now on, I'll stop calling you bro in the game. I'll call you by your name. But she sent a winking devil emoji. Even though the gender situation is different, we're still best bros, right? What? You gonna ditch me now that I'm a girl? Think I can't carry you to Grandmaster? She finished it off with a classic gif of two cartoon pandas with their arms slung around each other's shoulders. Looking at that phrase, still best bros, I smiled. Okay, disaster averted. But as I stared at her Kratos avatar, a strange feeling bubbled up inside me. Could we really just be bros? I remembered her standing in front of me, her face flushed, the scent of jasmine in the air. I touched my own face. It felt hot. Oh crap, this wasn't a bro thing. This was a crush thing. 05, orientation continued, but I was too embarrassed to show my face. After the watermelon incident, I was practically a campus celebrity. Even worse, Northwood University was apparently a lot smaller than I thought. Why did I keep running into Maya Anderson everywhere? The first time was in the dining hall. I had just gotten a plate of mac and cheese when I looked up and saw her sitting at a table near the window, laughing with a few of her friends. She wasn't in her orientation uniform today. She was wearing a pale yellow sundress. Her legs were nice. I almost dropped my entire plate on the floor. Online, I was the guy who could talk trash with her for hours. Why was I such a coward in person? The second time was on the path to the lecture halls. It was the main campus artery. There was no way to avoid it. I saw her from a distance, walking slowly, holding a few textbooks. I immediately spun around, ready to take the long way. I'd barely taken 2 steps when a cheerful voice called out from behind me. Where are you running off to? I froze. Students walking past us were already starting to stare. I had no choice but to turn around, my face burning. Hey, Maya. She walked right up to me, tilting her head as she looked me over. A playful smile danced on her lips. What's the deal? Online, you call me bro like it's nothing. When I mess up a play, you even threaten to twist my head off. But in person, you can barely get a word out. She leaned in a little closer, and that jasmine scent filled my head again. So you're two-faced, huh? We, have to line up for drills. It was the lamest excuse ever. This was so humiliating. Was this what they called a royal beatdown? Her friend, a girl I later learned was named Chloe, couldn't hold back a laugh. She nudged Maya with her elbow. Maya, stop torturing the poor freshman. Look at him. His face is as red as a tomato. I thought you said you two got along. You're going to scare your new best bro away. Maya's smile deepened. She didn't push it, just reached out and patted my shoulder. All right, I'll stop teasing you. Look at you all spooked. I don't bite. Next time you see me, say hi. Don't pretend you didn't see me. With that, she linked arms with Chloe and they walked away. After a few steps, she turned back and gave me a little wave. The sunlight caught her hair, and she was so bright it was hard to look away. Yeah, this was definitely not a bro thing. 06 orientation was finally over. I was no longer forced to suffer public scrutiny on a daily basis. Next up was the freshman welcome show. Alex burst into the dorm room waving a sign-up sheet, his eyes gleaming. Leo, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to look cool in front of the entire freshman class and all the upperclassmen. I rolled my eyes, slumped in my chair. I'm already infamous. I don't need more attention. That's exactly why you need to do it. Alex slapped the sign-up sheet on my desk. Think about it. What's your reputation right now? The funny guy, the meme lord, the coward who ran from the campus queen. Don't you want to prove you're more than that? Prove you can do something other than just eat watermelon? That last line hit a nerve. I didn't want Maya to only ever see me as the goofy guy who sent memes. I remembered her teasing me about being two-faced. A strange surge of determination welled up inside me. Fine, I'll do it. I grabbed a pen, and in the special talents section, I wrote, acoustic guitar. Alex and our other roommate, Mark, stared at me, their jaws on the floor. Whoa, dude, you can play? You've been holding out on us. I scoffed and tried to look cool, running a hand through my hair. You have no idea about the legends of my past. I had spent 3 years of high school learning to play the guitar to impress a girl I had a crush on. It never worked out. She ended up dating a jock. But I still had the skills. This time, I was going to reclaim my glory. I wasn't trying to get a girlfriend. I just wanted to finally shed the awkward meme guy label. A few days later, the show's program was posted. I found my name on the list, To Build a Home, performed by Leo Clark. My eyes drifted up the page. Under the host section, printed in bold letters, were 2 names. One of them was Maya Anderson. She was the host. That meant I'd have to perform right in front of her. My stomach twisted into a knot. If I messed this up, it wouldn't just be social suicide. It would be a public execution. But then I thought, what if I nailed it? What if I was amazing? Would she think her bro had hidden depths? Would she see me in a new light? Maybe she'd even have other thoughts? What was I scared of? You only live once. Go big or go home. Even if I couldn't win over an upperclassman, maybe a cute freshman would notice me. Meanwhile, backstage at the auditorium, Maya was going over the script with her co-host. When she saw my name on the program, she paused. Chloe, look at this, she said, handing the program to her friend. My best bro is performing. Chloe leaned in, a smile spreading across her face. Oh, an acoustic performance? I didn't know he had it in him. You think he's any good? Or is he going to get up there and just make noise? Maya tapped the pen against her chin, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Who knows? He's pretty good at video games. But Chloe looked at her, her expression full of gossip. This means you can get your revenge, right? He made you do the watermelon delivery in front of hundreds of people. Total public humiliation. Now, he's the performer, and you're the host. You have to give him a hard time on stage. Maya closed the script and grinned. Of course. An opportunity like this? I wouldn't miss it for the world. The night of the show, the auditorium was packed, buzzing with energy. I was backstage, clutching my guitar, my palms sweating. I was more nervous than I'd been for my final match to get into Master Tier. If my hand slipped and I hit one wrong note, my reputation at Northwood would be toast. 07 backstage was chaos, a flurry of people in costumes and stage makeup. I found a quiet corner and took deep breaths, trying to calm my racing heart. Just then, a faint, familiar scent drifted by. Jasmine. I looked up and saw Maya. She was wearing a beautiful light blue evening gown, her hair swept up in an elegant bun that showed off her long neck. She was a showstopper. She was just passing by, but she stopped when she saw me. Lifting the hem of her dress slightly, she walked over. Well, look what we have here. General Hulk himself. Her teasing voice cut through the backstage noise. Hiding in a corner? Getting cold feet. I stood up, holding my guitar like a shield. Who's scared? I'm getting in the zone. Maya looked at my tense face and couldn't help but laugh. She reached out and straightened my slightly crooked collar. Her fingertips brushed against the skin on my neck, a cool electric touch. I went completely still, not even daring to breathe. Okay, relax, she said, patting my chest lightly. Good luck. Just try not to break a string. And if you bomb, don't worry. I'll be there to drag you off stage. Her tone was light and breezy, but somehow the heavy weight of anxiety in my stomach lifted. And now, please welcome freshman Leo Clark with his rendition of To Build a Home. The announcement echoed through the hall. I took one last deep breath and walked onto the stage. The spotlight hit me, and everything went white for a second. But I knew Maya was watching from the wings. I sat on the stool and adjusted the microphone. My fingers found their place on the strings. The opening notes filled the auditorium. The familiar melody flowed from my hands, and I felt a sense of calm wash over me. There's a house built out of stone. I closed my eyes and sang the first line. The noisy auditorium fell silent. The students who had been on their phones and chatting all looked up. I lost myself in the music, forgetting the thousands of eyes on me, forgetting the embarrassing labels. In that moment, I wasn't the watermelon guy. I was a musician. The final note faded, and I slowly opened my eyes. The hall was completely quiet. Then, whoosh, the applause was deafening. Cheers and whistles erupted from the crowd. Oh my God, that was amazing. Who is that guy? He's incredible. I saw Alex in the freshman section, standing on his chair, waving a glow stick like a madman. His face was red from shouting. That's my roommate. Now, you're a legend. I felt a surge of pride. This was it. I was officially more than just a meme. Just then, Maya walked onto the stage, microphone in hand. She was looking at me, her eyes shining with genuine surprise and admiration. She came to my side and smiled at the audience. Wow, it looks like our Leo has some hidden talents. He's not just good at eating watermelon. He's an amazing musician, too. What a wonderful surprise. The audience laughed and cheered in agreement. Maya turned to me, but instead of sending me off stage, she held the microphone up to my mouth. Leo, that was beautiful. But that's a pretty emotional song, isn't it? She winked, her eyes full of playful mischief. Is there a special someone you were thinking of? Or perhaps, was that song for a particular person in the audience? The entire auditorium instantly shifted into gossip mode. A wave of oohs and ahs swept through the crowd. Oh, is it a confession? Tell us. Tell us. My face flushed. I looked at Maya, standing so close, her eyes sparkling. My brain went into overdrive, and I stammered out a reply. No one in particular. It was for everyone. Maya let out a small laugh, seemingly unfazed by my answer. She skillfully ended the interview. Well, we're all very grateful for Leo's incredible performance. Let's give him another huge round of applause. Even though her words were standard host speak, the way she looked at me, the warmth in her voice, the shippers in the audience were going wild. I walked off stage with my guitar, feeling the heat of 1,000 stares on my back. After the show, the Northwood Confessions page was on fire again. My name and Maya's were now permanently linked. We were the school's #1 rumor couple. 08 in the days following the welcome show, my life on campus changed dramatically. Before, people stared at me for a laugh. Now they stared with interest. Girls would whisper when I walked by. A few bold freshmen even asked for my number, but I always politely declined. Every time I reached for my phone, I'd picture Maya's teasing smile and feel like she was watching me from some hidden corner. It was both terrifying and thrilling. The rumors about us grew more and more absurd. Someone on the campus subreddit said we were already secretly married. Another claimed I had only applied to Northwood to follow her. The wildest theory was that I was some kind of secret billionaire just pretending to be a normal student. I read the threads with great amusement. Meanwhile, in the girls' dorm, Maya was scrolling through her phone, a slight frown on her face. Geez, these people have wild imaginations. They're saying I was won over by Leo's singing. Do I look that shallow? Chloe, her face covered by a sheet mask, mumbled, "So what was it then? His watermelon-eating skills?" Maya tossed her phone aside and flopped onto her bed. All she could see was Leo on stage, lost in his music, and the shy, blushing mess he was in person. The contrast was intriguing. If these rumors keep up, they'll have our kids' preschool picked out by next week, she sighed. Chloe rolled over to face her. Well, are you going to do something about it? Don't play dumb with me. I can see you're into him. If you like him, just go for it. When did the great Maya Anderson become so hesitant? Maya's eyes narrowed. She sat up abruptly. Où est hésitant? You think I'm scared? She was a woman of action, not one for playing games. If she liked someone, she went after them. If it didn't work out, she moved on. Now that she knew what she wanted, there was no point in hiding it. That evening, I was in my dorm, debating whether to get a burger or a burrito for dinner when my phone buzzed. It was a priority notification. My heart skipped a beat as I grabbed my phone. It was from Maya. The message was short, sweet, and to the point. Top floor of Hall A. The rooftop. Come up now. We need to talk. I glanced out the window. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Was she challenging me to a duel? No, wait. Could it be? I quickly ran a hand through my hair, changed into a clean pair of sneakers, and headed out the door. The wind on the rooftop was strong, whipping at my clothes. I saw her immediately. She was wearing a simple hoodie and jeans, leaning against the railing and looking out at the sunset. She heard the door open and turn around. The wind blew strands of her long hair across her face. Her expression was serious, the usual playfulness gone. "You're here." I nodded and walked toward her, stopping at a safe distance of about 3 feet. "What's up?" My heart was hammering against my ribs, so hard I thought it would break free. Maya looked me straight in the eye, not flinching. She took a deep breath and took a step forward. I instinctively wanted to step back, but I held my ground. "Leo, I'm not going to beat around the bush." Her voice was clear and firm, each word landing like a drumbeat. "I like you. Be my boyfriend." I was turned to stone. I had imagined a million ways this conversation could start. This was not one of them. She was so direct, it left me with no defense. Seeing my stunned silence, Maya raised an eyebrow and continued. "I think we get along really well. Our personalities are similar. We're both a little weird. We have the same hobbies. We can both pull all-nighters to rank up. I know I'm being blunt. I've never really done this before. So, we'll give it a try. If you're in, just nod." She paused, a mischievous smile creeping back onto her lips. "If you're not, I'll buy you a boba, and we can just go back to being brothers. So what do you say?" I looked at her bright, beautiful face. I saw how she was trying to act cool, but her ever so slightly trembling eyelashes gave her away. My defenses crumbled completely. Who could possibly say no to this? This was Maya Anderson. Every guy at Northwood dreamed of this. And she was standing right here, asking me to be her boyfriend. If I said no, I was pretty sure I'd be struck by lightning. My own real-life college romance story had apparently started that summer, with an absurd profile picture. I got a free campus queen, and even though her directness made me blush, it was also the coolest damn thing I had ever seen. 09, the wind whipped around us, making my head spin. Okay. The single word hung in the air for a moment. Then, Maya broke into a smile. It was more brilliant than the sunset, and it left me completely dazed. She suddenly stepped forward and, with her cool fingers, pinched my cheek. "All right, it's official," she said, her voice full of playful authority as she leaned in close. "From now on, you're mine. No takebacks. It's too late to change your mind." I touched my cheek, my heart pounding like a drum. I felt like I'd just been claimed as wartime prize. Our first date was at the boba shop on campus. We had dated online 1,000 times before, but that was in the battlegrounds of Wild Rift. Sitting across from her in person, I didn't know what to do with my hands. I took the straw from my milk tea and tried to puncture the plastic seal. First try, it slipped. Second try, I missed. Third try, the straw bent. I wanted the earth to open up and swallow me whole. A quiet laugh came from across the table. Maya was resting her chin on her hand, watching my struggle with an amused expression. "Leo, you seem more nervous on a date with me than you do in a ranked promotion match." "Well, if I lose a promotion match, I just lose a few rank points. If I screw this up and what? I'll dump you," she interrupted, a playful arch to her eyebrow. She reached across the table, took my drink, expertly poked the straw through, and handed it back. "Relax. I told you, no returns." I spent the rest of the date blushing, the boba tea far sweeter than I remembered. When I got back to the dorm, the news had already spread. Alex was draped over the balcony railing, wailing dramatically. "There is no justice in this world. How did that pig get the prize-winning cabbage?" When he saw me, his face instantly changed to one of fawning adoration as he rushed over to massage my shoulders. "My liege, my king, from this day forward, you are my hero. Get off me. Who were you calling a pig just now? Definitely not you. You are a handsome prince among men. So, bro, does your amazing girlfriend have any single friends? You want me to set you up? In your dreams." I pushed his head away, but I couldn't hide the grin spreading across my face at the word girlfriend. I may have been a coward, but I was a good listener. Maya had mentioned offhand once that she loved the red velvet cake from a bakery downtown. The next time we met, I was waiting outside her dorm with a small box. When she took the cake, she looked surprised, a flicker of genuine delight in her eyes. I didn't say anything. I just stood there, smiling like an idiot. Later that week, on a cool, breezy evening, we were walking by the campus lake. The path was dotted with couples, the air thick with the sickly sweet scent of romance. I used to scoff at scenes like this. Now I was part of one. Our hands kept brushing against each other as we walked. Each touch was like a tiny electric shock. Suddenly, a warm, soft hand reached out and intertwined its fingers with mine. I flinched, my first instinct to pull away, but I caught myself and squeezed back tightly. My palm was a little sweaty, but I wasn't letting go. Maya glanced at me, a smirk on her face. Hey, freshman, where's that I'll carry the whole team energy you have online? In person, you're so timid, you can't even hold my hand? I'm so disappointed. Her teasing poked at my fragile ego. I stopped walking and held up our joined hands. I'm a different person online, okay? Besides, I didn't know you were a girl back then. If I knew, I never would have played with you. I have a strict no-girls policy. They just slow me down. Maya's eyes narrowed, a dangerous glint appearing. She reached out with her free hand and gently pinched my ear. The gesture wasn't painful, just profoundly humiliating. What did you say? I'm not good enough. I'll hold you back. No, no, no. You're the best. You're the greatest support player in North America. I immediately surrendered. Under the moonlight, our shadows merged into one long, inseparable shape on the ground. 10 after we had been dating for a while, and the initial thrill settled into a comfortable routine, something still fell off. Every time I opened my messaging app and saw that Kratos avatar, I had to do a double take. I was the Hulk. She was Kratos. It didn't look like a couple's chat. It looked like two bros planning a raid. It was especially weird when she'd send a message like, "Babe, I miss you," and it would be paired with the face of a scowling, bearded god of war. It made me feel like she was about to rip a tree out of the ground. One night, I was tossing and turning in bed. I finally sent her a message. Hey, should we maybe get matching profile pics? I immediately locked my phone and held it to my chest. What if she thought it was lame? What if she said, "We're not in high school, why would we do that?" This was Maya, after all. The girl who was brave enough to deliver a watermelon to a total stranger. My phone buzzed. She had replied instantly. Finally, I was wondering when you'd ask. I was beginning to think you wanted Hulk and Kratos to be together forever. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding, a smile spreading across my face. Okay, so what should we use? You can pick. Even as I said it, I was preparing myself for the worst. Knowing her, she'd probably pick something like Shrek and Donkey or another set of absurd, meme-worthy pictures. I steeled myself, ready to sacrifice my aesthetic for love. A few minutes later, a set of images came through. I tapped to enlarge them and stare, surprised. They weren't memes. They weren't abstract art. It was a set of adorable, soft-lined cartoon characters. A boy holding a guitar, and a girl holding a slice of watermelon. The colors were warm, and the whole vibe was incredibly sweet and romantic. This was the avatar chosen by Maya, the person who introduced herself to the university as a trash-talking Kratos. A huge wave of warmth washed over me. I thought you were going to pick something weird and ugly. I typed honestly. She sent back a gif of a cartoon character repeatedly bonking another on the head. What? You think I have no taste? That other avatar was for when we were brothers. It was to ward off creeps. But now that I have an adorable boyfriend like you, I have to pick something cute. It's called claiming my territory. You get it. Reading that last line, I grin like an idiot and bury my face in my pillow. Claiming her territory. Why do those words sound so good? I immediately changed my profile picture to the little cartoon boy with the guitar. Looking at our chat window, at the perfectly matched set of avatars, I felt a deep sense of contentment. This was perfect. 11 being with Maya changed me. I smiled more. I was more confident. I walked with a little more swagger. I used to just be the passive recipient of her very direct affection. But love is a two-way street. I wanted to do something for her. Something only I could do. So, the guitar came back out from under my bed. I started secretly writing a song. To keep it a surprise, I would sneak off to empty rooftops or in used classrooms to practice. I went through an entire notebook, scribbling out and rewriting lyrics. The song wasn't fancy. It was just a simple story of us. It started with an absurd Kratos, moved to the humiliating watermelon incident on the quad, and ended with her confession on the rooftop. Maya, being as sharp as she was, noticed my strange behavior pretty quickly. Where have you been disappearing to lately? Are you cheating on me? She asked one day, trying to catch me off guard. My eyes darted away. Just practicing guitar. For a competition. She didn't press the issue, just gave me a knowing, "Oh," and a subtle smile. On Saturday evening, I convinced her to come with me to the music club's practice room. I had decorated it earlier with a few cheap strings of fairy lights. It was a bit cheesy, but in the dim light, it felt surprisingly romantic. What's all this? Are you proposing to me? Maya teased as she walked in, but she couldn't hide the happy glint in her eyes. I sat her down in a chair and took my place across from her with my guitar. I cleared my throat, feeling even more nervous than I had at the welcome show. Maya, at the show, you asked me who that song was for. And the truth is, it wasn't for you. She raised an eyebrow. Oh, so which freshman was it for? That one was for everyone, I said, looking her straight in the eye and taking a deep breath. This one is only for you. The opening chords were simple, but they were filled with all the hours I had spent practicing. That summer was hot as hell. Then I met someone new. I asked for a watermelon. She showed up out of the blue. The lyrics were a little silly, a little clumsy, maybe even a little funny. But I saw Maya smile. The Maya who was always so loud and confident, the leader of the pack. Right now, she was just sitting there quietly, her expression soft and gentle. So, did you like it? I asked when the last note faded. Maya didn't answer right away. She stood up and closed the distance between us in 2 steps. I thought she was going to hug me, but instead, she leaned down and cupped my face in her hands. She was so close I could feel her breath on my lips. You dork, she whispered, her voice a little thick. When did you get so smooth? Learning how to sweet-talk me now. So, are you brave enough to kiss me? Her eyes were glistening, her expression a mix of challenge and pure, hopeful expectation. If I chicken out now, I didn't deserve to call myself a man. My brain went blank, and all my nervousness and shyness evaporated. I slid my hand to the back of her head, closed my eyes, and kissed her. The taste of jasmine mixed with the slight saltiness of a tear. It was the sweetest thing I had ever tasted in my life. 12 time flies when you're having fun. Just like that, it was September again. The familiar sounds of orientation drills and freshmen groaning filled the air on campus. Leo and Maya had become one of Northwood University's most well-known and surprisingly normal model couples. Aside from the occasional upperclassman bringing up the legendary watermelon incident, our life was calm and sweet. At 2 in the afternoon, under the same brutal sun, I mysteriously dragged Maya towards the main quad. It's 100 degrees out here. Why are you bringing me here? She complained from under her umbrella. Is it fun for you to watch the freshmen suffer? Are you a sadist? Just come on, I want to show you something. I led her to the shade of a large tree right next to the spot where we first met. Wait right here. Don't move. I sprinted to the campus store and returned a few minutes later with a plastic bag. Inside was half an ice-cold watermelon, bright red and juicy, with 2 familiar plastic spoons stuck in the top. I walked up to her and, mimicking her flustered, shy tone from a year ago, I pushed the watermelon into her arms. Maya, here's your watermelon. Maya stared at me, stunned. She looked down at the watermelon, then back up at me, my face flushed and sweaty from running. For a moment, it was like time had rewound. Except this time, I was the one delivering the goods. She burst out laughing, her eyes crinkling at the corners. You are so childish. Though her words were teasing, she happily picked up a spoon. We sat together in the shade of the tree, watching the new freshmen marching on the field. Leo, she said, her voice muffled by a large bite of watermelon. Yeah. Were you super disappointed back then? You thought you were getting a bro, but you got a girl instead. I looked at her, at the watermelon juice staining her lips, and my heart felt full. A year ago, I was right here, waiting for my best bro. I took her free hand and laced our fingers together. But I guess fate had a buy one, get one free deal. It didn't send me a bro. It sent me the best girlfriend in the world. Maya paused, her spoon halfway to her mouth. She turned to look at me. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, dappling her face in shifting patterns of light and shadow. She suddenly leaned over and gave me a quick, soft peck on the lips. It tasted like watermelon, cool, refreshing, and sweet. So, you think being my boyfriend is better than being my bro? She asked, a smug, triumphant look on her face. I looked at her, no longer the awkward, blushing freshman who could barely speak. I smiled and leaned in to kiss her again, deepening it this time. Yeah, I said against her lips. Way better. Having the campus queen as my girlfriend? I definitely won. Maya pushed me away playfully and tapped me on the head with her phone. Glad you know it. Watching them is boring. Anyway, let's go back to the dorm and queue up. This time, You're playing support for me. And don't you dare steal my kills. Yes, ma'am. The sun was bright. The breeze was gentle. Our story started with a misunderstanding, but it turned into the perfect co-op campaign. And I guess that's what college is all about.